The beginning of the journey inside this tiny egg lies the miracle of an entire life. From a single cell, invisible to the naked eye, a living creature begins to form, growing day by day until it finally enters the world. But how does it happen? Today we'll journey inside the egg to witness one of nature's most extraordinary miracles. Before the embryo begins to grow, let's explore the egg from the inside, the outer shell. A hard, calcium-rich protective layer covered with thousands of microscopic pores that allow oxygen to enter and carbon dioxide to escape. Just beneath it, two thin inner membranes form an additional protective barrier, helping shield the embryo from harmful microorganisms. Next comes the egg white, or albumin. Rich in water and proteins, it cushions the developing embryo and keeps it safely in place. At the center is the yolk, the embryo's main source of nourishment, packed with fats, proteins, vitamins, and essential nutrients that fuel its growth throughout development. And finally, this tiny white spot on the surface of the yolk is called the germinal disc. Right here, this is where life begins. After fertilization, and as soon as the egg is placed inside an incubator at 37.5 daraja C, 95 daraja, the very first cell begins to divide. One becomes two, two become four, and in less than 24 hours, thousands of cells have already formed. But here's the truly astonishing part. The heart begins to beat on the very first day. By the second day, tiny heart becomes visible and starts pumping blood through an intricate network of microscopic blood vessels. On the third day, the eyes and the first limb buds begin to appear. By the fourth day, the intestines begin to develop, gradually separating from the yolk. At this stage, the embryo is no larger than a pea, yet it already contains the beginnings of every major internal organ. From day 5 to day 10, the embryo enters a period of rapid growth. The wings, legs, and beak become clearly defined. The first feathers begin developing beneath the skin. The eyes continue to mature and the eyelids start to form. Meanwhile, the kidneys, lungs, and liver all move into their permanent positions inside the tiny body. And by the 10th day, if you hold the egg in front of a bright light in a dark room, you'll see a dense network of red blood vessels spreading throughout the egg. A breathtaking sight you'll never forget. In this final stage before hatching, soft feathers gradually spread across the chick's body. The intestines move completely back inside the abdomen. Meanwhile, the yolk is slowly absorbed, becoming a reserve of nutrients that will sustain the chick during its first days of life. Then, on the 18th day, something remarkable happens. The chick begins to rotate inside the egg, positioning itself for hatching, with its head facing the larger end of the egg, preparing for its first journey into the outside world. Now, the moment has arrived. Using what is known as the egg tooth, a tiny sharp projection on the tip of its beak, the chick begins striking the shell from the inside. First, it breaks through the inner membrane, taking its very first breath of air. Then it starts cracking the shell. Tap, 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 slowly rotating inside the egg, creating a complete circle around the shell. And finally, after 21 days of life in darkness, the chick emerges into the world, wet, exhausted, but alive. Within just a few hours, its feathers dry into a soft coat of fluffy yellow down. It stands on its tiny legs and looks at the world for the very first time. In just 21 days, a single invisible cell has transformed into a complete living creature, breathing, moving, and sensing the world around it. This extraordinary journey reminds us of the incredible complexity of life and the remarkable power of nature, even in its simplest forms. The next time you hold an egg in your hand, remember what it has the potential to become. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more amazing stories from the natural world.